Um, Welcome everyone to our Coventry HDRC webinar. My name's Jessica Weeks. I am the Public Involvement Officer for the HDRC. Please can I hand over to Dr. Luca to introduce you to your presenters.
Yes.
Thanks, Luca.
Thanks, and hello everyone. It's great to have you here. It's great to be part of this. I am Luca Morini. I'm an associate professor at the Center for Global Learning at Coventry University. And today, as by the title, we'll talk to you about some work that we're doing within the context of the YOUROPE project in terms of local youth action moving towards international policymaking. I will pass on to my colleagues and co-researchers for a quick round of introductions.
So I'm Dr. Kaden Schumacher. I'm working with Luca on YOUROPE, kind of across the work packages for this project.
Hello, and I'm Dr. Michelle Williams, and I'm the course director of the Masters in Product Design Innovation, and I've been working on the CLRA project with my students.
Hi, I'm Joshua Pino Graham, MA student for Product Design Innovation.
Hello, I am Sumaya Koch, and also I am the MA student in Product Design Innovation.
Okay, thank you so much. As you will see, this is quite a collective piece of work, so it was right to have student voices and youth voices involved. Before we go into the specifics of the project, I want to say a bit more about how does it fit in what is already going on and what this group is already doing. We want to acknowledge all the work done in terms of youth participation in place-based health and policy. And this project builds on what is already happening by acknowledging our youth are key stakeholders in shaping health, well-being, and inclusive growth, but also their voices are not often represented in decision-making. There is a lot of discussion about youth disengagement from policy and policy-making. Our project, as you will see, tries to, well, first of all, complicate that narrative and then try to address it. But either way, the risk, if youth voices are not heard, is that policies are made while not acknowledging lived realities, and they don't engage with communities. Coventry, as I was saying, is already doing a lot in terms of community co-production, health determinants research, and holistic approach. And what we are sharing, although started separated from this ecosystem of research, hopefully can fruitfully contribute to it. So what I will do is I will talk to you, I will give you a bit of a general view of the YOUROPE project. Then I will pass it on to Michelle and our students for a bit of a deep dive in one of the case studies that we have been working on, and then we'll pass it on to Kaden to look at other aspects of the project as a whole. So what is this YOUROPE project? So the headline is to create an inclusive and participatory European democracy with youth and communities. We are working with 21 schools and colleges across Europe, and effectively we are working with students as co-researchers working with communities. The idea is to introduce innovative methods to link more closely young people into decision-making, to reach, hopefully, those are the project targets, more than 6,000 community members to create local action plans. This project is very action-oriented, and I will come back to that. And to train and support young leaders. Those might be students, but also people living in communities, to connect directly with European policymakers at all levels, to test new ideas for participation in universities and community. And for me, very importantly, to also shift a bit the relationship between universities and communities. In English, you have this expression of town and gown, but you can see often some divide. So we're looking at different ways to bridge it by working here with communities, but also by learning from other countries where that divide might be less strong. And then, of course, it is a research project ultimately, and we want to share the results and create long-term strategies for change. The key point of discussion for today, and this is the element of the project where I am. The project does a lot of things, and Caden will tell you a lot about quite a few of those. What we are focusing on today, and what I have a personal mandate in the context of the UK, is this idea of community-led research and action. This is a couple steps beyond traditional or not so traditional participatory approaches in terms of providing young people and communities with tools and space, importantly, to identify issues, produce solution, and take meaningful action. So the idea is effectively to link people and community to build trust. To build that space, you need to build trust, and then by using the university and also working with students to anchor the institution. We talk a lot about civic universities and universities as anchor institutions. This is one way of doing that. The idea is to engage with grounded and lived experience to create sustainable change. And so this is about flipping the script. A lot of research, a lot of valuable research, I would say, is about, it's a bit top-down. It's a bit about researching communities. But here we are trying not just to research with communities, but to enable and resource communities to lead the research agenda and the research implementation. I will not go into the specific nitty-gritty of this whole CLRA approach. We have ideas about cycles and timings and action. What I think is important immediately to convey is these key principles of CLRA that are 3 R's. It's a research project, so things are in a flux. Sometimes the number of R changes. Right now, we have 3 key R's that are about relationality. So establishing the trust. It's not just about the research, it's about living together in a shared space. It's about reciprocity. What are communities getting out of the research project? And it is about reflexivity in terms of really understanding and questioning also the nature of the relationship between research and communities, which has been complicated and extractive in many cases. So we're trying to do something different. And why does this matter for policymaking? To take this kind of approach means generating really rich and grounded insights, and to surface hidden or emerging issues early, even before they come to the attention of researchers or of funders or of policy. It's about starting from local need, and then to use research expertise and evidence to build legitimacy for political decisions or political action, which means strengthening implementation and uptake. So in the context of this HDRC, the idea is that CLRA can support, so community-led research and action can support the priorities by embedding evidence in communities. What does this actually look? And now we will talk quite a bit about what this actually look by looking at specific cases. But what is actually happening is that we are working with youth in Coventry, again, working with students as anchors, but also with communities outside of the university to identify priority issues, develop community-led research, and then importantly, design actions. We have these CLRA cycles that are 6 to 12 weeks, and the idea is not just to get data or to get evidence. The idea is to do that and then start moving towards some kind of action, which might be in terms of engagement with policymakers, might be in terms of petitions, might be in terms of drafting policies, might be in terms of an event, might be in terms of an exhibition, but something tangible that happens in a public space. So currently emerging themes across different modules and strands of research that I will tell you a bit more about. Now are clustered in terms of access to safe and inclusive spaces, sustainability and environmental justice, and belonging and participation. Those were not at any point dictated by us or by the students. Those are topics that came from the engagement with communities. And yeah, we move from Kaden will tell you more about that, but we also move from these local instances and these local conversations towards international discussions about how do these themes overlap, how do they align, how do they differ in different places. And then we also try to do something very local and tangible to discuss matters such as student housing that have a strong impact both on students and surrounding communities. Now, to give you a few specific examples before having a deep dive in the work that product design students are doing specifically. These are a few of the things that we have been doing. We are looking, for example, we're working with a group of human geographers who have engaged with young parents to understand access to green spaces, and now we want to organize some kind of event to reach out for policymakers. We had people look at access to healthcare. We have people look at structural racism. We organized an exhibition about the experiences of LGBTQ+ youth here at the Yard. We had a rather unusual one, perhaps, where we started working with the philosophy students, and they were looking at existentialism and nihilism. And yes, those might sound like very abstract themes, but ultimately it comes down to lack of purpose and isolation. And they created a little experience to engage with other young people, to open spaces for conversation that now are moving in that international scope about, for example, loneliness around campuses or university cities. But we have all of these kinds of work and more that are growing, but the most long-standing one has been the collaboration with Michelle that has taken a few different pathways. So I will pass the ball to Michelle and Josh and Sumaya to tell you a bit more about how all of this discussion about community and democracy and how to do research in a different way has developed in a very tangible way.
So fortunately, the projects for the undergrad and postgrad in the School of Arts and the Creative Humanities are focusing on real life projects. So this gave us the opportunity to work within designing for sustainability themes, as well as thinking sustainably, systemically, I should say. So our first project was designing for international parents that had moved into the country and were trying to use social housing and also trying to use, or while living in social housing, was trying to use renewable energy. But the interfaces weren't very easy for them to use. They're very, very technical. So this idea came from Green New Deal when we started having conversations with them. They're a sustainable green activist group. And they gave us the idea and the context to start working with these people. So my students went out and I think only one of my students, May, because is a single mother on her own with her daughter. So only one of us went out this time and talked to her about her problems and her needs.
Hello. So the main things I want to say here is that the international students, I was also unfamiliar with the heating system in UK and also the interfaces they use in the heat pumps. and seeing the problem in real life context and interviewing the real user was therefore really helpful in this project. And as a single mother, she had her unique needs to be considered in design, like children safety, for example, so that the conversation completely changed how we frame the project. And also I try to consider other groups' needs based on my secondary research as well. So during the co-create meeting session, also we make improvements together with the participants. And this is, yeah, and you can see the final design here. I try to, the idea is basically visualize the energy usage by growing plants. It's a gamification idea, and to encourage children and also parents to save more energy and also consider the easy usage.
So as a class, we brought the participant into the university space, therefore making it a more democratic space. Bringing the community into the space helped us to develop the products because their feedback is crucial within this project for us. So also, because they're not designers, we have to speak in layman's terms to help them understand the process and the product overall and what we're trying to do. But that helps us and them to develop this project for both parties in a really positive way. So we had a model that was brought to the participant within the co-create meeting, and then they saw the simple interface and they thought it was a really good idea to simplify the interface for them, being they're an international person. So the feedback from them was really positive, and that helped me develop my my research and then my model making through to the final design. And overall, it's a really helpful and positive experience for myself.
So the second project involved more stakeholders. And again, we went back to Green Deal. We talked to them about the themes, the sustainable themes that they and the community were concerned about. And we had this great conversation with one of them. And this, as you can see, the whiteboard here with the students, and talked about all the problems and the stakeholders that we should talk to. And as you can see here, we went to the Sherborne Recycling Centre and learnt about how they recycle the problems. This is the most up-to-date, technologically up-to-date one in Europe. So learnt about that. It was a great experience, but also learnt about their problems from their perspective, and the problems that they have when users don't recycle the way that they'd hoped. We met a recycling group in Coventry. There's about 400 residents, and they talked about how they recycled and the systems that they had. So this is one of their systems that they had for sorting out the recycling, and found out about their problems. And the beauty about this, about not just about having somebody come in to the university, we're able to go out and talk to them and carry out primary research, which is quite a unique experience for students within their residential site. So we're able to see the problems of these chutes, opening them up, which was an issue for people in wheelchairs and people lacking of strength, but also go outside and talk to them in situ and talk about the problems that they had. Using, you know, their own voice from their own opinions, which was a great experience. So I go back to you.
Thank you. So having discussed with the recycling group firsthand their problems, we found that they couldn't recycle the blister packs in the ways they hoped because they had a bag for it, for example, but the materials being processed and recycled were of low quality because of the two separate materials being put together. So my process was to develop a blister pack system with improved opening for the elderly users. So in the middle image, you can see the 8 different variations that I took to them to try in the co-create module. And then the final outcome was a blister pack that they could open easily. And I found the best opening for my design because of their feedback used within that research. So, yeah. So the new monomaterial blister pack with Internet of Things integration, improving the experience for recycling blister pack systems. So the circular economy is also easily integrated, and then it was twofold with also the people in the recycling centre, recycling home, so making it easier for them to open their blister packs.
So my project is about zero waste shopping experience design, focused on greens, fresh herbs, and ready-to-eat salad meals. And actually, both interviews led me to this idea. First, in our interview with residents, the main complaint about recycling of our participant was unnecessary wrapping around vegetables and fresh herbs. And after seeing the sorting system in Coventry, I realized that this kind of material is not suitable for recycling either. Even they are they are not suitable for home recycling right now. But even they are collected from the curbsides, the material quality is not high enough to recycle and reuse again. And so the idea of creating a zero waste shopping experience, I researched recent agricultural technology and design a new shopping experience around them. And during the co-create session, we also decide the usage experience together. And you can see the final design here.
So finally, after our students going out to, opening the walls of the university, working with the community, all different stakeholders, from the recycling to the green activists to the actual users themselves, actually speaking to them, we were then able to bring them partially into the university as well, which we hope to do even more, and now develop this project for people who have problems opening up these chutes. So this is going to go further over and above the 6-week project that we did.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Before we move to the international aspect, I would like just to thanks Maya, thanks Josh. I think, yeah, it was just lovely to work with you and to continue working with you. I think we were just watching some resources from the HDRC before starting this seminar, and there was a discussion about research capacity. I think by looking at this kind of project, you can see how we can reframe research capacity with the right oversight from people involved in democratic and community-led research, and from people involved in research in the specific disciplines. You can have students work with communities to lead and develop research projects. So when we think about research capacity in terms of community engagement, I think we have incredible untapped research capacity by leveraging universities as anchor and place-based institution, and by supporting students to engage in this way while always keeping democratic values and conversation at the center. We don't want students to just go out and get data for their assignment. As you could clearly see, this was not about it. It is about the university as a civic institution. And then also, yes, as an international institution.
Yeah, so part of our project as well is then connecting those local aspects wider and transnationally. So students then have the opportunity to connect with other students on the project from across Europe and talk about those shared themes or concepts or even their experiences of doing that sort of local research. And here's just some examples of kind of what we're looking at. So we are doing this through COILS, which stands for Collaborative Online International Learning. So ideally, you would have the actionable piece within the local setting, but then also some sort of actionable like output or shared experience transnationally as well. And this does really align with the HDRC aims because it is really focusing on community co-production, reducing inequalities. It's very evidence-led in sort of using that in the decision-making process. And it does have the aim of really making long-term systemic change. So that part of the project is really looking at sustainability of these methods and these aims within modules, but then also extracurricularly for Coventry and the local community. And so it provides sort of like a practical model for doing a lot of this work, as Luca was kind of alluding to. So there are a lot of opportunities for collaboration between our organizations. So we can embed CLRA approaches within some of the HDRC projects. That could be one potential. There's also potential to co-develop some youth-informed research priorities. We can really support some of the youth advisory structures and some of the community research capacity building that you're trying to do. And this could really translate findings into some local policy development. That's a piece of our project, is looking at pathways to policy and getting youth involved in those pathways to policymaking. And then just the design of services and goods throughout the local and then international communities. So we're sort of offering a framework that could be used in co-development with the aim, like the goals of your work already. And so what some of the success could look like specifically for Coventry is just more inclusive policymaking being done, better alignment between the services that are being offered and the lived realities of the communities. So you're on the ground and sort of letting them lead the work that's being done. The increased youth trust and engagement. So that's something that has been really amazing to see as a researcher is when we give youth the voice and sort of the opportunity to be involved, just how much a lot of them take this on and do feel very empowered through it. And so I think seeing more of that and sort of embedding that more into the work that we do would be amazing to see. And it does also provide stronger evidence for prevention of different inequities, especially around health equity, and then just inclusive growth as our community.
If I may interject quickly, when talking about increased youth trust and engagement, I would say this kind of project can also heighten trust towards youth. In a city like Coventry, where we have high numbers of international students, and sometimes they just spend maybe 1 year and something here, they feel disconnected, and the city feels that they are disconnected. What is the relationship between this population and the city? But this kind of project can really shift that relationship, in that, yes, those international students can learn more about the context and they can be better professionals in the future, but also, like in the cases that we've shown, they can be of service, I would say. This is in alignment with ideas about service learning, which are more widespread in other countries, but it is about having a strong and community-led approach.
And so basically, we're just ending on, hopefully we could build this together. So exploring maybe some pilot collaborations or identifying some shared priorities. We could potentially integrate CLRA into some of the activity that you're already doing. And seeing that Coventry is already a big leader in a lot of these community-led approaches, it would be great to just sort of continue that work and expand it both with this project and then internationally through the project.
It's okay. Okay, this is where we are for now. This project continues until the end of next year.
Yeah.
So we have 1 year and 1 year and a half active project, but we have further European funding to start doing this kind of work with schools too. So to cascade it down, for now, as I was saying, we strongly believe in the university as anchor institution, but we'll continue doing that. But the idea is to cascade it to schools and to teacher training, so that this idea of learning as a public engagement, as a democratic engagement, can become more widespread. I am slightly envious, I would say, of colleagues in Poland, for example, where they have a lot less regulatory stringency around these things, and there's more of a culture of university community engagement. They have a couple hundreds of social work students running around the city of Łódź, changing neighborhoods. Here we have to build infrastructure because those relationships are set up in a different way, but I am keen on what we can do together. And with this, we have a lot of time for Q&A and conversation and just talking with people about what we have done. So what I would do is I would stop sharing for now.
Thank you,
and
Luca.
then
I think with the alignment with the HDRC about that kind of community co-production and reducing inequalities with evidence-based, I think we have great future of working together. So I'm looking forward to it. But thank you very much all for your time.
But yeah, if you will have the slides, you will have our contacts. So please do get in touch if you see any opportunities for synergy and collaboration, because we have a list, we have some emails, so we expect to hear from us soon. But thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. Do take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.